Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, Jai Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. Krishna book की जय, श्री कृष्ण भगवान की जय. Hare Krishna. So we're reading from the Krishna book, chapter 14, prayers offered by Brahma to Lord Krishna. By His Divine Grace, the Boy Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Brahma said, "My dear Lord, you are the only worshipful Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead. Therefore, I am offering my humble obeisances and prayers just to please you. Your bodily features are the color of clouds filled with water, and you are glittering with a silver electric aura emanating from your yellow garments. Let me offer my respectful repeated obeisances unto the son of Nanda Maharaj, who is standing before me with conch shell earrings and a peacock feather in his head. His face is beautiful. He is wearing a helmet and a garland of forest flowers, and he stands with a morsel of food in his hand. He is decorated with a cane, buffalo horn, bugle, and a flute. He stands before me with his small lotus feet. So here, Rama is offering Lord prayers to Lord Krishna, having understood his supremacy, and he's giving a description of Krishna. I don't know if that picture is here, but there's a, in the big Krishna book. There's a beautiful picture. It's in the it's Jadurani's painting, and it is Krishna as a small boy standing before Lord Brahma. But it's not in this book. And he's wondering, his dress is very beautiful. He looks like a little boy, and he's searching for his cows and his friends, and he's got yogurt. He missed yogurt and some fruits in there, because he was taking his lunch, so he just went to look for the cows and boys. He's wandering around. You can see the yogurt is dripping through his finger joints, and because Brahma said that Krishna, he's like an ordinary boy. He's just like an ordinary boy. Maybe he's an ordinary boy. Why there's so much fuss about the Krishna? He looks just like an ordinary little boy. So this Brahma was curious to understand this. So Krishna says, as they surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. So Brahma was thinking Krishna's a little boy. He's not God. So Krishna, he was responding to Lord Brahma according to Brahma's realization. So you think I'm an ordinary little boy. So I'm reciprocating like that with you. I'm an ordinary little boy and I've got some misty day and fruits in my hands and fingers, and I'm looking for my friends. And who is this funny man with 4 heads? I wish he would hurry up and go away, because I really want to find my cows and boys. So Krishna is approaching Lord Brahma as a little boy, because that's the way Lord Brahma was approaching him, as an ordinary person. Anyway, the picture is so beautiful. It's in the original Krishna book. So Lord Brahma is offering these prayers. My dear Lord, people may say that I am the master of all Vedic knowledge and that I am supposed to be the creator of this universe. But it has been proved now that I cannot understand you. You are present before me like a child. You are playing with your boyfriends and calves, which might imply that you don't even have sufficient education. You are appearing like a village boy carrying the food in your hand and searching for your calves. And yet there is so much difference between your body and mine, I cannot estimate the potency of your body. As I've already stated in the Brahma Samhita, your body is not material. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that the body of the Lord is all spiritual. There is no difference between the Lord's body and his self. Each limb of his body can perform the actions of all the others. The Lord can see with his hands, he can hear with his eyes, he can accept things with his legs. He can create with his mouth. Brahma continued, your appearance as a cowherd child is for the benefit of the devotees. And although I have committed an offense at your lotus feet by stealing away your boys and calves, I can understand that you have bestowed your mercy upon me. That is your transcendental quality. You are very affectionate towards your devotees. But in spite of your great affection for me, I cannot estimate the potency of your bodily activities. It is to be understood that when I, Lord Brahma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead of the universe, the Supreme Personality of the universe, cannot estimate the childlike body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then what to speak of others? And if I cannot estimate the spiritual potency of your childlike body, then what can I understand about your transcendental pastimes? Therefore it said in the Bhagavad Gita, anyone who can understand a little of the transcendental pastimes, appearance and disappearance of the Lord becomes immediately eligible to enter into the kingdom of God after quitting the material body. This statement is also confirmed in the Vedas, where it is stated, simply by understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can overcome the chain of repeated birth and death. I therefore recommend that people should not try to understand you by their speculative knowledge. The best process for understanding you is to submissively give up the speculative process and try to hear about you, either from yourself, as you have given statements in the Bhagavad Gita and many similar Vedic literatures, or from a realized devotee who has taken shelter at your lotus feet. One has to hear from a devotee without speculation. One does not even need to change his bodily position, his worldly position. He simply has to hear your message. Although you are not understandable by the material senses, simply by hearing about you, one can gradually conquer the nescience of misunderstanding. By your own grace only, you become revealed to the devotee. You are unconquerable by any other means. Speculative knowledge without any trace of devotional service is simply a useless waste of time in search for you. Devotional service is so important that even a little attempt can raise one to the highest perfectional platform. One should not therefore neglect the auspicious process of devotional service and take to the speculative method. By the speculative method, one may gain knowledge of your cosmic manifestation, but it is not possible to understand you, the origin of everything. The attempt of persons who are interested only in speculative knowledge is simply wasted labor, like the labor of a person who attempts to gain something by beating the empty husk of rice paddy. A little quantity of paddy can be husked by the grinding wheel, and one can gain some grains of rice. But if the skin of the paddy has already been beaten by the grinding wheel, there is no further gain in beating even a huge quantity of husk. It is simply useless labor. My dear Lord, there are many instances in the history of human society where a person, after failing to achieve the transcendental platform, engaged himself in devotional service with his body, mind and words, and thus attained the highest perfectional stage of entering into your abode. The process of understanding you by speculative or mystic meditations are all useless without devotional service. One should therefore engage in your devotional service, even in his worldly activities, and one should always keep himself near to you by the process of hearing and chanting your transcendental glories. Simply by being attached to hearing and chanting your glories, one can attain the highest perfectional stage of entering into your kingdom. If a person therefore always keeps in touch with you by hearing and chanting your glories, and offers the result of his work for your satisfaction only, he very easily and happily attains entrance into your supreme abode. You are realizable by persons who have cleansed their heart of all contamination. The cleansing of the heart is made possible by chanting and hearing the glories of your Lordship. The Lord is all-pervading. As stated by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, everything is sustained by me, but at the same time, I am not in everything. Since the Lord is all-pervading, there is nothing existing without His knowledge. The all-pervasive nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead can never be within the limited knowledge of a living entity. Therefore, a person who has attained steadiness of the mind by fixing the mind on the lotus feet of Krishna is able to understand the Supreme Lord to some extent. It is to be understood that the Supreme Lord, it is the business of the mind to wander over varied subject matter for sense gratification. Therefore, only a person who has always engaged the senses in the service of the Lord can control the mind and be fixed at the lotus feet of the Lord. This concentration of the mind upon the lotus feet of the Lord is called samadhi. Unless one reaches the stage of samadhi or trance, he cannot understand the nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There may be some philosophers or scientists who can study the cosmic nature from atom to atom. They may be so advanced as they could count the atomic particle composition of the complete atmosphere, or all the planets and stars in the sky, or even the shining molecule parts of sun and other stars, and luminaries in the sky. But it is not possible to count the qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As described in the beginning of the Vedanta Sutra, the Supreme Person is the origin of all qualities. He is generally called Nirgun. Nirgun means whose qualities are beyond estimation. Guna means qualities and Nir means beyond estimation. But impersonalists interpret the word Nirguna as having no quality, because they are unable to estimate the qualities of the Lord in transcendental realization. They conclude that the Supreme Lord has no qualities, but that is not actually the position. The real position is that the original source of all qualities, the real position is that He, Krishna, is the original source of all qualities. All the qualities are emanating constantly from Him. How therefore can a limited person count the qualities of the Lord? One may estimate the qualities of the Lord at one moment, but the next moment the qualities are increased. So it is not possible to make an estimation of the transcendental qualities of the Lord. He is therefore called Nirgun, one whose qualities cannot be estimated. One should not uselessly labor in mental speculation to estimate the Lord's qualities. There is no need of adopting a speculative method or exercising the body to attain mystic yogic perfection. One should simply understand that the distress and happiness of this body are predestined. There is no need to try to avoid the distress of this bodily existence in an attempt to achieve happiness by different types of exercise. The best course is to surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead with body, mind and words, and always be engaged in His service. This transcendental labor is fruitful, but other attempts to understand the absolute truth are never successful. Therefore, an intelligent man does not try to understand the absolute truth by speculative or mystic power. Rather, he engages in the devotional service and depends on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He knows that whatever may happen to the body is due to its past fruitive activities. If one lives such a simple life in devotional service, then automatically he inherits the transcendental abode of the Lord. Actually, every living entity is a part and parcel of the Supreme Lord and the Son of the Godhead. Each one has a natural right to inherit the share of transcendental pleasures of the Lord. But due to the contact of matter, conditioned living entities have been practically disinherited. If one adopts the simple method of engaging himself in devotional service, automatically he becomes eligible to be freed from material contamination and elevated to the transcendental position of associating with the Supreme Lord. Lord Brahma presented himself to Lord Krishna as the most presumptuous living creature because he wanted to examine the wonders of his personal power. He stole the boys and calves of the Lord in order to see how the Lord would recover them. Now Brahma admitted that his attempts was the most presumptuous, for he was attempting to test the energy, the Lord's energy, Now Lord Brahma admits that his attempt was most presumptuous, for he was attempting to test his energy before the person of original energy. Coming to his senses, Lord Brahma saw that although he was a very powerful living creature in the estimation of other living creatures within this material world, his power was nothing in comparison with the power and energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The scientists of the material world have discovered wonders such as atomic weapons, and when tested on a city or some insignificant place on this planet, such powerful weapons create so-called havoc. But if the atomic weapons are tested on the sun, what is their significance? They are significant there. Similarly, Brahma's stealing the calves and boys from Sri Krishna may be a wonderful display of mystic power, but when Sri Krishna exhibited his expansive power in so many calves and boys and maintained them without effort, Brahma could understand that his own power was insignificant. Brahma addressed Lord Krishna as Achyuta because the Lord is never forgetful of a little service rendered by his devotee. He is so kind and affectionate towards his devotees that even a little service by them is accepted by him as a great deal. Brahma had certainly rendered much service to the Lord. As the Supreme Personality in charge of this particular universe, he is without a doubt a faithful servant of Krishna. Therefore, he could appease Krishna. He asked that the Lord understand him as a subordinate servant whose little mistake and impudence might excuse him. He asked the Lord to understand him as a subordinate servant whose little mistake and impudence might be excused. He admitted that he was puffed up by his powerful position of Lord Brahma, because he is a qualitative incarnation of the modes of passion within the material world. So this was natural for him, and therefore he committed the mistake. But Lord Brahma hoped that since he was after all Lord Krishna's subordinate, the Lord would kindly take permission upon him and excuse him for his gross mistake. Lord Brahma realized his actual position. He is certainly the supreme teacher of the universe, in charge of the production of material nature, consisting of the complete material energy, false ego, sky, air, fire, water, earth. Such a universe may be gigantic, but it can be measured just as we measure our body as 7 parts, 7 spans. Generally, everyone's personal body measurement is calculated to be 7 spans of the hand. 7 times from there to there. This particular universe may appear as a very gigantic body, but it is nothing but the measurement of 7 spans for Lord Brahma. Aside from this universe, there are unlimited other universes which are outside the jurisdiction of this particular Lord Brahma. Just as innumerable atomic infinitesimal fragments pass through the holes of a screened window, so millions and trillions of universes in their seedling form are coming out from the bodily pores of Mahavishnu. And that Mahavishnu is the part and parcel of the plenary expansion of Krishna. Under these circumstances, the Lord Brahma is the supreme creature within this universe. What is his importance in the presence of Lord Krishna? Lord Brahma therefore compared himself to a little child within the womb of the mother. If the child within the womb plays with his hands and legs, and while playing he touches the body of the mother, is the mother offended with the child? Of course she isn't. Similarly, Lord Brahma may be a very great personality And yet, not only Brahma, but everything that is existing within the womb of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord's energy is all-pervading. There is no place in creation where it is not acting. Since everything is existing within the energy of the Lord, the Brahma of this universe and the Brahma of many other millions and trillions of universes are existing within the energy of the Lord. Therefore, the Lord is considered to be the mother, and everything existing within the womb of the mother is considered to be the child. And the good mother is never offended by the child, even if he touches the body of the mother by kicking his legs. Lord Brahma then said that his birth was from the lotus flower which blossomed from the navel of Narayana. After the dissolution of the three worlds, of these planetary systems, known as Bhuvalok, Bhuvalok and Shvaloka, the universe is divided into three divisions, namely Shvaga, Madhya and Patala. These three planetary systems are merged into water at the time of dissolution. At that time, Narayana, the plenary portion of Krishna, lies down on the water, and gradually a lotus stem grows from his navel. And from that lotus flower, Brahma is born. It is naturally concluded that the mother of Brahma is Narayana. Because the Lord is the resting place of all living entities after the dissolution of the universe, he is called Narayana. The word Nara means the aggregate total of all living entities, and Ayana means the resting place. The form of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is called Narayana because he rests himself on the water. In addition, he is the resting place of all living creatures. Besides that, Narayana is also present in everyone's heart, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. In that sense also he is Narayana, as Ayana means the source of knowledge as well as the resting place. It is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita that the remembrance of the living entity is due to the presence of the super soul within the heart. After changing the body, the living creature forgets everything of his past life. But because Narayana, the super soul, is present within his heart, he is reminded by him to act according to his past desire. Lord Brahma wanted to prove that Krishna is the original Narayana and that he is the source of Narayana. And that Narayana is not an exhibition of the external energy Maya, but it's an expansion of the spiritual energy. The activities of the external energy of Maya are exhibited after the creation of the cosmic world, and the original spiritual energy of Narayana was acting before the creation. So the expansions of Narayana, from Narayana to Karanadakai Vishnu, from Karanadakai Vishnu to Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu to Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, and from Kshirodakshaya Vishnu to everyone's heart, are actually Krishna's expansions, manifestation of his spiritual energy. They are not conducted by the material energy, and therefore they are not temporary. Anything conducted by the material energy is temporary, but everything executed by the spiritual energy is eternal. Lord Brahma reconfirmed his statement, establishing Lord Krishna as the original Narayana. he said that the Lord's gigantic universal form is resting on the water known as the Garbhodakaya. He spoke as follows: the gigantic universal form is another manifestation of your energies. On account of his resting in the water, this universal form is also Narayana, and we are all within the womb of this Narayana form. I see your different Narayana forms everywhere. I see you on the water. I can feel you in my heart. I can also see you before me now. You are the original Narayana. My dear Lord, in this manifestation, you have proved that you are the supreme controller of Maya. You remain within the cosmic manifestation, and yet the whole creation is within you. This fact has already been proved when you exhibited the whole universal creation within your mouth before your mother, Jasoda. By your inconceivable potency of Yogamaya, you can effect such things without external help. My dear Lord Krishna, the whole cosmic manifestation that we are visualizing at present is all within your body. Yet I am seeing you outside, and you are seeing me outside also. How can such things happen without being influenced by your inconceivable energy? Lord Brahma addressed hearing that without accepting the inconceivable energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one cannot explain things as they are. He continued, my dear Lord, leaving aside all other things and just considering today's happenings, what I have seen, are they all not due to your inconceivable energies? First I saw you alone, therefore you expanded yourself as your cowherd boys and friends. The calves and the existence of Vrindavan. Then I saw you and all the boys and calves as four-handed Vishnus, and they were being worshipped by all the elements and all the demigods, including myself. Again they all wound up, and you remained alone as you was before. Does this not mean that you are the Supreme Lord, Narayana, the origin of everything? The origin of everything everything emanated from you and would again enters into you and leaving you the same as before. Persons who are unaware of your inconceivable energies cannot understand that you alone expand yourself as the creator, Brahma, the maintainer, Vishnu, and the annihilator, Shiva. Persons who are not in awareness of things as they are contemplate that I, Brahma, am the creator, Vishnu is the maintainer, and Lord Shiva, the annihilator. Actually, you alone are everything, creator, maintainer, and annihilator. Similarly, you expand yourself in different incarnations among the demigods. You incarnate as Vamanadev. Among the great sages, you incarnate as Parashuram. Among the human beings, you appear as yourself, Lord Krishna, or as Lord Ram. Among the animals, you appear as the boar incarnation. Among aquatics, you appear as a fish incarnation. And yet, you have no appearance or disappearance. You are always eternal. Your appearance and disappearance are made possible by your inconceivable energy. Just to give one protection to the faithful devotees and to annihilate the faithless demons. O my Lord, O all-pervading Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Super Soul, controller of all mystic powers, no one can appreciate your transcendental pastimes as they are exhibited within these three worlds. No one can estimate how you have expanded your Yogamaya and your incarnations, and how you act by your transcendental energy. My dear Lord, this whole cosmic manifestation is just like a flashing dream, and it is temporary existence simply disturbs the mind. As a result, we are full of anxiety in this existence. To live within the material world means simply to suffer and to be full of miseries. And yet, this temporary existence of the material world appears to be pleasing and dear on account of its having evolved from your body, which is eternal, full of bliss and knowledge. My conclusion is, therefore, that you are the Supreme Soul, the Absolute Truth, and the Supreme Original Person. And although by your inconceivable transcendental potencies you have expanded yourself into so many Vishnu forms, and also in the living entities and other energies, you are the Supreme One without a second, the Supreme Super Soul. The innumerable living entities are simply like sparks of the original fire. Your Lordship, the conception of the Super Soul as impersonal is wrong, because I see that you are the original person. Persons with a poor fund of knowledge may think that because you are the son of Maharaj Nanda, you are not the original person, that you are born just like a human being. They are mistaken. You are the actual original person. That is my conclusion. In spite of being the son of Nanda, you are the original person. There's no doubt about it. You are the absolute truth, and you are not of this material darkness. You are the source of the original Brahma Jyoti, as well as the material luminaries, the sun, moon and stars. Your transcendental effulgence is identical with the Brahma Jyoti, just as described in Brahma Samhita. The Brahma Jyoti is nothing but your personal bodily rays. There are many Vishnu incarnations and incarnations of your different qualities, but all these incarnations are not on the same level. You are the original lamp. Other incarnations may possess the same candle power as the original lamp, but the original lamp is the beginning of all light. And because you are not one of the creations of the material world, even after the annihilation of this world, your existence as you are will continue. Because you are the original person, you are described in the Gopaltani Upanishad as well as the Brahma Samhita as Govindam Adi Purusham. Govinda is the original person, the cause of all causes. In Bhagavad Gita also it is stated that you are the source of the Brahman effulgence. No one should conclude that your body is like an ordinary material body. Your body is akshara or indestructible. The material body is always full of threefold miseries, but your body is Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha, full of bliss, knowledge and eternality. You are also Niranjana, because your pastimes as the little son of Mother Jasoda or the lover of the gopis is never contaminated by material qualities, and although you exhibit yourself as so many cowherd boys and calves, your transcendental potency is not reduced. You are always complete, as it is described in the Vedic literatures. Even if the complete is taken away from the complete, the Supreme Absolute Truth, it remains the complete Supreme Absolute Truth. And although many expansions from the complete are visible, the complete is one without a second. Since all pastimes are spiritual, there is no possibility of their being contaminated by the material modes of nature. When you place yourself as subordinate to your father and mother, Nanda and Jasoda, you are not reduced in your potency. This is an expression of your loving attitude towards your devotees. There is no second identity to compete with you. The person with the pure fund of knowledge concludes that your acceptance, that your appearance and pastimes are simply material designations. You are transcendental to both nescience and knowledge. As confirmed in the Gopaltani Upanishadam, you are the original Amrita, indestructible nectar of immortality. As confirmed in the Vedas, Amritam Satpatam Brahma. Brahman is the eternal, the supreme origin of everything, who has no birth or death. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Bhagavan Shri Krishna ki jai, Krishna Book ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.